Howdy everyone. Welcome to Inside Russia. This is Konstantin and this is yet daily update on what is happening in Mother Russia. The current events, things are unfolding. And let's do it. Another live, another topic, another thought, another my personal experience. And this is not quite a message actually today, but this is my personal experience I'd like to share with you. So you know what and how we live here, okay? If you're new here, I usually schedule my stream in two parts. First is my message, and the second is communication, conversing with you. Mommy Lorna, thank you so much for 5x5. You can see and hear me well. That's good news. That's good luck. And it means that the day is ending in a good fashion. Folks, today is quite a sad day for me. Very sad. My dad passed away 1 year ago exactly, on the 27th of May. And this is a Russian tradition, historic, like cultural tradition, and Russian Orthodox tradition, that 1 year after a person passes away, a family throws a remembrance service. And it's a big deal. 1 year is a big deal. And today, well, tomorrow technically, but we must be done before noon tomorrow, okay? That's how it works. We can do it in one of the 3 days before, okay, and it's considered normal, but we cannot go further than noon of the day that person died. So we had a huge gathering of people in my house, well, mom's house, mom's and dad's, and basically there's a certain food, mashed potatoes, cutlets, compote, homemade lemonade, herring, well, things like that, okay? And basically lots of vodka, and then people don't really celebrate anything. People just remember a person who passed away, and they say good words. And that's exactly what was happening today, most of the day. We did a good job, me and mom. It's our responsibility. You know, the closest relatives do that, either kids or brothers, sisters, or spouses. So it was 100% of our responsibility. I'm proud. We really did a good job. And a lot of people came. Families, friends, close family, distant family, friends, people we hardly knew, well, know, people from dad's work and things like that. Now, based on this one experience of 1 day of my life, I want to show you, I want to inform you, to explain you what is happening in Russia right now. Now, Russian society has been split into two parts. First part is the ones who, well, the one people who support the event in Ukraine, the conflict in Ukraine. And that's about roughly 75%, 3/4. The second part is people who don't support, and that's about 1/4. This is my personal estimation, okay, from what I see around me, but also Russian President's press secretary Dmitry Peskov confirmed it in one of the earlier interviews. He said that approximately 75% of Russian society supports it, and I agree. There, he was absolutely right. He didn't lie. So that division, I would say 25/75, that kind of universal throughout the life. At work, families, Well, some families, of course, most families unified, like husband and wife, and the kids, think one thing and that's it. But if you take a large family and if you take distant members, cousins, friends, people you hardly know, that's a few dozen people, I would say, up to 100 persons. Then you get the division. And like I said in the first earlier streams, cancel culture was introduced in Russia, and I hated that, and I still hate it. It's one of the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I think it's definitely a huge blow to our society, and it's not good whatsoever. But it's a reality, it's here. Cancel culture. If you, in many cases, if you disagree with person's opinion on this thing, they cancel you out. They just stop talking to you. They unfriend you and things like that. That's ugly. That's ugly. One of the ugliest sides I've ever seen. And that's what was happening early in the conflict. Now we are over 3 months, okay, 3+ months, and we've seen things. We've had things happen to us. We are experienced. We are, how do I say that? We're seasoned, okay? We're not the green ones we were 3 months ago. We kind of understand what's going on. And in Russia, you cannot cancel out your family because family is number one. Family is, that's basically being a part of a family is what you live for. Your kids, your spouse, your parents, you take care of your parents until they die. Um, the kids take care of you. It's the family, okay? This is number one in our lives. And what happens if you get canceled by family members just because of this political disagreement? That's a tragedy. That's right, tragedy. Because canceling out in the family is not accepted. So many Russians got the taste of canceling early into this event. And a lot of people left out being confused because it's something brand new. You can cancel out your family members, but it happened in some cases. And families found the recipe. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of families are divided. Okay, I know the cases where most older people support the separation because the only information they get from Russian official sources, such as the television, and they don't really get much of a. Let's put it this way: to be safe, I'll say that they don't have a variety of information. They don't travel. They just sit at home and stuff like that. And then support among older folks is greater. Support among younger folks is much smaller. Okay, but younger folks are kids. Older parents, or older folks are parents. Okay, and I've heard, okay, many cases where the families get divided over this thing. The parents support, kids don't support, and then they start fighting. And then someone cancels someone out. That unthinkable happens, okay? So, many cases. I know personally families that, not my family, thank goodness. But I've seen families that happen too. That's a pretty ugly thing. So, how do Russian families, the main question, how do Russian families fare? What do they do? How they staying strong? There's gonna be a way. Yes, I saw it today, and I've been hearing it, been seeing it all around me lately. Families introduce the new rule, taboo. Discussing this thing inside of the family is avoided. It's taboo. Um, we just don't talk about it. Okay? We talk about the family business, the family things. We talk about variety of issues, health. We talk about well-being. We talk about economic challenges that, oh boy, there are plenty. All I was talking about today in my family is economic challenges, because everyone is doing worse than they were doing before. Okay, everyone. I have different kinds of people in my family. I have big businessmen. I have employees. I have a retired helicopter colonel, the pilot. Well, doesn't matter. Like, he spent lots of time in Afghanistan and Chechnya. Like, he knows stuff. People like that, all kinds of experience, all kinds of background. We don't talk about this event, where it's like everybody knows what's going on. Everybody keeps avoiding this topic. No one discusses it. And you know what? For a good reason. Because we want to keep the families. We don't want to fight. We understand where we have differences, but we have silently decided to stay away from the discussions, from heated discussions, and from possibly, our relationships tarnishing. Okay, that's how Russians cope with what is happening right now. Now, that's been my message, or actually experience. Again, different people. I saw a few dozens of people today, and yet we did not have one problem discussing, because we didn't touch this topic. We tried to stay sane. We tried to stay the family unchanged, undivided, united, and I think we've done a pretty good job doing that. And a lot of other families do that too. If we didn't do that, that would be the hugest, the grandest family divider of all times in Russia. And our society would simply fall apart, because its foundation, strongest foundation, family, would be broken. Okay, that's it. I want, before I turn the comments on, I am going to ask you a question. Please, in the comments in the live stream, or if you're watching not live but rerun later on, put in the comments to that, to the stream, offline comments. Share with your experience. Is there anything like this that you have faced in your country, in your neighborhood? An issue that divides families? Because that's beginning of the end, I think, for any country. If families get divided, that's not good. That's over, So have you experienced remotely anything like we're experiencing here in Russia? Have you ever tried to deal with that stuff? Please let me know. Before I turn on the comments, I would like to remind that tomorrow, around 11 Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 12 noon, something like that, there will be a live stream for sponsors only live stream, where this is my way of saying thank you for supporting me through YouTube sponsorship. And it'll be much more personal stream. Not too many people, slower pace, more personal questions. Any kind of questions you want, 1 hour, please tune in. And right after, there will be a stream for patrons, people who support me on Patreon. Same stream, same idea, just for the patrons. So please, if you haven't signed up already, go ahead and do that. I would love to see you among sponsors and patrons of my channel. Thank you so much. Now I would like to hear your feedback, your response. Again, it's been a really tough day for me personally, for my mom, for our family, because this is 1 year. I keep on saying, I keep on thinking celebration. That's the first thing that pops into my mind in English, but it's far from celebration. It's we call it the remembrance service. It's not. We kind of celebrate person's life, but we mostly just remember how good of a person that deceased one was. We remember what a great time we had together. We remember, and it's such a tiring event because a day before you run around, you buy food, you cook food, you buy food, you order food, you order deliveries and things like that. Then early in the morning you start getting everything ready for a large number of people coming in throughout the day. Then you host all the people, and then by I would say by 4ish they leave, and it's just you're so tired, Mommy, Lorna, Robert, Bob, thank you so much. By the way, I have the most wonderful mods in the world. Lorna, Mommy, Robert, Bob, Yarn Prepper, Harry Potter, and Pinball. You are fantastic. Thanks for coming back. You know what? This is a strange stream because my tongue is barely moving. Okay? It's I think I've been speaking so much to all the family members, all the family, and just I was giving it's not toasting, but it's like you stand up, you have a little bit of alcohol. I didn't drink any alcohol because I was driving, but usually people have a little bit of alcohol, and they do a speech, and I've done quite a few speeches, so my tongue is kind of giving up on me. The usual suspects, thank you so much for coming back. Golden Grief on you surprised me last night by writing that you are about to move to Maine. There's going to be one more Maine, and that's great because Maine is the way the life should be, and the vacation land in one package, so you're gonna love it. Reese Gray, thank you so much for, I don't even know what to say, for super chat, but it's not a super chat. It's become something of a legendary thing. As soon as I turn on the chat, you go boom, just like that. Thank you. That's the message. I really enjoy hearing messages from you. Hello, Mr. Popular. Hello from Canada. Sad to see families split by this, but it was bound to happen as was the response of making the topic taboo. It's similar to the US battle in the Middle East of that way. Thank you, Reese. Thank you. It is very sad. It is very sad. It's unbelievable to see what's happening to my country. These things are so brand new. They're fresh. They're ugly. We never had that before. We had tons of political discussions, always in the families, but not to the point of canceling each other out. Folks, please understand the tragedy, the depth of our tragedy, okay? Every single one of us in Russia is we call it the coach experts, okay? We are the experts about talking of politics on our kitchens, behind our tables, okay? We're experts. We're like the best in the world experts. And for as long as I remember myself, all my relatives had been speaking about politics. Oh, Gorbachev, Perestroika, the 90s, Yeltsin, such a great alcoholic, and so forth, and then Putin and stuff like that. But never, never, ever it got to the point where people actually would get really upset with one another and would take actions by canceling one another. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. So thank you, Reese. Thank you for the first super chat. I have a couple huge super chats from Sean Gonzalez from Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you so much. $100 in remembrance of your dad. He did a very good job. Big hugs. Thank you, Sean. My dad did a good job. He was one of the best persons I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not just saying it as his son. He served in Czechoslovakia for 2 years, year and a half really, because for 6 months he was in a training camp, and then 18 months he served in Banska Bystrica. He came back a young man, and he carried guilt. He was feeling guilty throughout his life for what he was doing. He said he kept telling me that he didn't need to be there. He was not our place to be in Czechoslovakia, And then not just he was saying that or feeling guilty. Actually, in 2000, he packed up, and my mom, they both went to Czech Republic to actually do something good there, to serve people of Czech and Slovakia. And, they did a pretty good job. So, Sean, thank you so much. Eyes, thank Allison. You allowed me to say your name. Thank you for this huge support, and thanks for becoming a sponsor on Patreon. Your messages are very short, but they speak more than 1,000 words. Thank you. I have a $5 super chat from John Brake. Condolences, good sir. I lost my father 1 year ago also. Thank you, John. That was 3 bad years I had, and each one of them was worse than the one that came was worse than the previous year. Let me tell you a story about that just in a second. I'll acknowledge this couple super chats. One from Silaton, Czech Republic. Just by listening to you, I know that your father was a great man. He was. Thank you. Please accept most sincere condolences from Czechia. Thank you for great content. Question. We did always try to find workaround. Underground, Samizdat. Thank you for the first part. Always a pleasure to see someone from Czech Republic reaches out, and it's fantastic. Thank you. Question. We did always try to find workaround. Underground, Samizdat. If it's a question, if it's a statement, I understand that. Same here in the Soviet Union. We tried to find things that would get us information, okay, the truth. Samizdat was one of them. But as for now, we still have plenty of information. Internet provides everything that we need to know. It's in people's heads and in their minds, okay? You have to know where to look. You have to actually be willing to look, okay? For example, if Samizdat is available everywhere, you have to actually be willing to go and pick up Samizdat and read it, if you know what I mean. Thank you very much for your message. You have 2 messages, one right after another. This generation got unimaginable options, still unable to create persistent underground layer. What if now protesters did dress as journalists? Yeah, who cares? They're just journalists. My friend, you making, like, you probably don't know much about Russia, but if journalists protest, they just lock up, arrest journalists, If you go with a camera and you have like press on you, and you walk around along the protesters and keep on filming them, they take you and then they decide who you are. You spend 12 hours in a local police station, you're trying to explain, they question you and so forth. And that's would they start arresting all journalists? Obviously. Hope I answered your question. John, I'm returning to your super chat and your question. Condolences, I lost my father 1 year ago. Year 2000 I thought, was absolutely worst because it had CV-19. 1 year 2000, on the 31st of December, was really nice weather. It was like 50s here in southern Russia. 31st, I came out and I made a little video just for myself saying, hey, what a terrible year. Please go away. 2020, go away. 21, please come and be better. Well, 21 came, and it was the most terrible year for me ever, because COVID continued and my father passed away. It was terrible, absolutely most terrible year. It was filled with so much pain, with so much sorrow, bad emotions, feelings, and I thought at the end of the year, it barely made it. I was thinking, oh please, 2021, go away. 2022, please come and be a good one. 2022 came, turned out to be the worst year that I remember, even the worse than 2021. Thank God my dad is not seeing this, okay? Just one bad year after another. Again, Sean and Ice, thank you so much for this super chats. Thank you, I appreciate it. Folks, if you want me to have a slight chance at reading your message or reading your question or answering your question in this chat, please put your question, comment in caps so I see it. Because I tend not to read the super chat, the chats, the live stream chats that are not in caps. Donna Olson skipped my super chat. It was number 2. Oh, I didn't skip it. It's just it disappeared because Robert Bates deleted the message. Thank you for the super chat, Donna. If you want me to answer, please send me a message on Patreon or via email, and I'll be glad to answer that. Whoa, my friends, we have Karen Milkowitz in the house with a message. Karen Milkowitz's mom. I'm sorry. Michael Milkowitz's mom, right? We prayed for you quite a few days in a row. We are glad that you're doing better. I know probably what, now we're praying for your son. Thank you, Constantine and viewers, for all the prayers for me and my son, Michael. Always believe that praying is powerful medicine and very important positive change. Keep bringing all positive thoughts and words. Thank you so much. It's actually great to hear from you because you were so many times in our minds and in our prayers and in our words. So it's great to see you coming here. Thank you. Gabby Hyman, thank you for the memory of your father. My friend of 30 years will no longer speak with me because I took a COVID injection. Where is love? Well, you get the idea. Same thing happening here. Um, a lot of people, do same here, and our answer as families is to avoid these issues, to make them taboo. Okay? There's just no need to speak inside of families for this. Tea, usual, Earl Grey from Sri Lanka. Someone said that, like a tea expert, that he wouldn't even shake my hand because I drink this tea. But I don't know, Earl Grey is fantastic. Ceylon tea, one of the best teas I ever had. It's pretty good. So good. I guess I'm not just a huge tea expert since I drink such a cheap. By the way, it's not cheap. It cost me an arm and a leg, and such a, you know, not great tasting tea. Again, we have a very diverse crowd today from all over the world. That's good to see. A lot of people put in their location, which is fantastic. I'm seeing everyone's messages. Doris Nietzsche. Good evening, Konstantin. Can I ask what your parents did in Czech Republic? That makes it a special contribution. I'm curious. Look forward to hear from you. I've said the story of my mom and dad, and especially dad, quite a few times already. If you haven't heard it, in a nutshell, my dad came to Czech Republic as an atheist, and he had a thing happened to him. He nearly died in the hospital, and the Czech doctors had a pancreas inflammation, and basically it can be fatal. And the doctors gave him 12 hours to live. And he saw God miraculously came to him, said, you're cured, Peter. Stand up and go. And he woke up. I was like daydreaming or something. He was in pain. He woke up, and he was believer instantly. And the doctors they thought he was crazy. They thought they were gonna die in 12 hours. Okay, they thought he's gonna be brought back to the hospital, like half dead or dead. But he actually walked away from the hospital. He started eating. He hadn't eaten anything for a couple of weeks. He started eating, and he went to church, and he shared the closest church he could find, the first church, and he shared his experience, and the church took him, and they said, well, listen, you are quite a case of God's glory. We would like you to stay and work for us. And they were trying to build a church at the time. I think it was 2000. And my dad actually built a church in Sheberov, Apatov. And he was the church caretaker for 10 years with my mom. And he became preacher, okay? He got in very close in the community of that church. Lots of friends from Czech Republic would, come and seek his advice, would speak to him. And he started preaching, like speaking the word of God. That's what he did in Czech Republic that makes it so special. And then when he was going there, he didn't know, like, he had an urge to go and do something good to the people of Czech Republic without a plan, okay? And then actually his plan without a plan worked out real well, because he got there, he went through this experience, and he still remembered. We had many, many calls from Czech Republic today to my mom, just saying nice words about my dad. That's what he did. Stat Musician, thank you very much for your message without the message. $10 is pretty strong message. Thank you. Appreciate it. Piggy Maximus, do you like hiking? If so, do you think you can take us on a hike in Russia with you? Very strange request. I've never thought of it, ever. I love hiking. Me and Natasha will love walking together. The thing is, Russia is, where we live, is flat, absolutely flat. And there's no place to go on hiking, so we go to a stadium and we just go around the stadium, or we go to a park and go around the park, because parks here are not huge, not like in Moscow. The only forest around Rostov is far away on the other side of the city. We rarely make there, so we don't hike. It's absolutely flat. I think if we go on a walk sometimes, then and take you along with us and do a live stream, it's gonna be boring. Okay, we try to find interesting locations such as the embankment of Rostov and take you there, but Rostov doesn't have that many interesting places. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Rostov is not like has a huge variety of places like Moscow does, or even Tashkent. Tashkent is 3 million people city. Rostov is a little over 1 million. There are places of interest that I can take you there. I can take you to are quite limited here. Okay. Can I take you on a hike? Every Saturday there will be a hike of some kind, someplace. So keep on tuning in. We will be hiking with Natasha probably once more on the embankment, or perhaps we go, if we hit 100,000 subs, we're gonna celebrate. We've decided to go to the country club where our marriage took place some 12 years ago. 12, long time ago anyway. And perhaps we could do a live stream from there and show you the place. That's definitely worth taking a look at. I've done a few videos from that place, but I can't call it hiking. It's just walking tour of that place. Anyway, every Saturday, keep on tuning in. We'll be doing some walking and some showing you of places that we find interesting here in Rostov. Thank you very much for the super chat, and excellent question too. Christina S., I loved your wedding video. What a special day for you both. Was fantastic day. Was, I would say, a great wedding. I've been to many weddings, and ours was one of the top ones, and that's Well, it's a biased opinion, okay? It could be not true, but to me it is. Reese Gray, again, the usual serial super chatter. Thank you. This one is dedicated to Papa Popular and all the good he did for you and the people of the world. Know in your heart and soul that you'll be reunited with those you've lost one day, including him. Thank you, Reese. I don't know what to say about this message. I'm very grateful for it. Thank you. Oh my goodness. LP asking, do you cave explore? I've been to a couple caves, but they were well organized. I bought tickets and they, took me down there with a guide, and there was lots of walking space and stuff like that. I don't do cave exploration. I think I'll be stuck in a cave. I'm too heavy. I'm too big. Too fat. No, I'm sorry. I understand that the cave exploration is sort of religion, so to speak. You get hooked and it becomes your hobby. My hobby is YouTube. My hobby is making videos. That's my cave. I'm down to this rabbit hole. Guido D says only 200 subscribers missing. I don't believe so. The latest today I watched was 2,500 subscribers missing. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, 2,000 right now. 2,000, not 200. Which is crazy because, we were doing a walking tour last Saturday and I was asking you, who were in the stream, I was asking you, let's do a contest. When do you think that, we'll hit 100,000 subs? And I was thinking to myself, probably in August. Probably like, the earliest is July, and that would be fantastic. And people are saying, oh, but June, summertime, and so forth. It's like a few days later. It's unreal. Unreal. This is what's happening with YouTube and my channel. It seems like a virtual cartoon for me, because nothing in me is changing, but the numbers, they just going up like crazy. That's it. Eyes. Thank you so much. Another super chat. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Allison, your message is just incredibly strong. That's all I gotta say. I appreciate them. Philip Lameball, $10. Thank you for being honest. Actually, you know what? This is a very, very deep thing I'd like to touch. For being honest, I've been contacted by quite a few bloggers lately. Once you're small, no one really wants to do anything with you. Once you start getting a lot of subs, once you becoming big, everyone wants to get to know you. Everyone sends you email and stuff like that. So I really cherish and I really appreciate and value the relationships with bloggers that I started when I was small. Like my channel was almost non-existent. For example, Vasya Zangief, right? Cool kid. I remember when I first saw his channel, I was really amazed how well of English he speaks, and he was much bigger channel than I was. I was 2,000 subscribers. He was like 5,000. I said, wow, that's big, and we met offline. We turned out to be neighbors. Then Crazy Russian Sergey is a cool kid, some other bloggers. Slava Russian Plus is an amazing guy, But the thing is, so many bloggers would call me and contacted me lately, and we would discuss. They were like, what should I do in my blog? Like, what's your secret? Share. And my secret is really simple. It's not a secret. I look inside myself and I find messages. They are born in my heart, okay? And they're always sincere. They're always honest. A long time ago, I pledged to speak the truth about Russia, the good, and there's plenty of good. The bad, also plenty of bad, and the ugly was very little ugly back in the days. Now ugly is much more. But that's my promise, and that's what I've been doing, right? I speak of what I find important, not even interesting anymore. Okay, I find important. I find, triggers me, and then I send you messages. And even if I didn't do that, if I wasn't honest, if I wasn't sincere, I think you, the viewers, would notice right away, because you cannot fake this thing. I think it shows immediately. And a lot of bloggers, like a few people, they're like, we should make something up to attract and tend our viewers. And my advice to them was, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Just try to find something sincere inside of you, then, because it shows. If you will make something up to tend your viewers, then they will not be your viewers any longer, because they will see the fakeness. Okay. And I am really glad that you pick on me being honest in my streams and in my videos. And that's who I am, and that's what I don't intend to change anytime. Thank you for your super chat, and thank you for your message. James Rose, thank you. Brianna B. There are so many messages. There's a little difference between the not super chats, the live stream chats. Towards the end of the streams, I usually start, like mistaken in the words. Anyway, there's a little difference, big difference in the super chats with many people, many commenters, and few ones. The big one, the main live stream chat is right now. It happens every night, and this is where I deliver my message. And I think it's pretty important that a lot of people hear it. And I welcome as many people as possible. But I don't get to see all the messages. It's impossible. In 1 hour, it's just impossible. Not even 1 hour, half an hour or so, like 40 minutes. I get the tiny portion of questions answered and, comments read. But when we go to the live streams that are for sponsors only, not too many people, like 10, 15 people perhaps. All questions, it's a slower paced, all questions pop up, all questions are read, and it's completely different format. Same for Patreons, pretty much same thing. So if you want a slower pace chat, so please come back tomorrow. J.W. Spencer, what do Russians put on top of pizza during sanctions? Michael, I didn't really get this question. Pepperoni, cheese, jalapeno peppers, pieces of chicken meat, bacon, not bacon, but ham. Kind of same thing that we were putting before the sanctions. Maybe there's a trick question. I don't understand. Explain, please. Nothing's changed in terms of pizza. We just had a pizza yesterday, by the way. Michael wanted me to to order delivery, so I did. Narnian lady, your message is pretty right. I think I have the same thing. Family is not necessarily those we are biologically related to. I value several people in my life who mean more than my relatives. In Russia, we have a circle of people that we call family, and they're related by blood. That's our blood family. By relationships, for example, a lot of our families crisscross. For example, I take a person to become the godfather of my son and the godmother of my son, and that those people become closest family members for me, although they're not related to me biologically. Okay, that's how our families grow. Our colleagues we consider close friends, family. We consider colleagues family. That we make friends too. So in Russia, family it's not just biological relatives. It's the circle. You know, the bigger is your circle, the stronger you are. The stronger you are as a person, the stronger are your defenses against the government, against mafia, against everyone. Because if you're in trouble, all you have to do is cry for help, and your circle comes to help you out. Okay, that's one of the reasons families are so important. Same thing. If someone cries for help, you rush and help out. You drop everything you do, and you go and help them out. Start help them out. Our families are close in good times and in bad times, and that's why they're very important to us. Sabrina fell. I live by the world's biggest cave in America. Oldest tourist attraction, Mammoth Cave, over 300 miles explored, and every year they add more miles. 300 miles. I was always thinking of caves as something small, something, you get in and out, but 300 miles kind of sounds crazy. Kentucky to New York. Everything is big in America. Brandy Ford, I have sadly missed a few episodes, and now you're back in Russia for good. I cannot tell you at this point because life is so unpredicted and unexpected here. In Russia, it's unfolding in front of our eyes and it's changing. So I certainly cannot tell you if I'm in Russia for good or not. I came back from Uzbekistan because I was finished with everything I was doing there, and I came back. Uh, what happens tomorrow, I don't really know. Sandra Kreisman, hello from Portland, Oregon. So happy to catch you live today. Welcome, Sandra. It's great to have you here. Eyes says, in honor of your dad. Thank you so much. I see your message. Thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Much needed. Jose is from Los Angeles, Southern California. Well, I know Los Angeles quite well. One of the, I don't know, I call it a juggernaut city. The city is bigger than life. Fantastic place. Aloha from Hawaii, Stafford. If you need a break, come and visit. Uh, Stafford, that's actually not a very simple comment that you did. That's a deep one for me, at least. And this is how. We are extremely, I can't even say tired. It's not tiredness. It's being loaded up emotionally, mentally. It's like I feel like I'm a vessel, and there's only so much then can be put in the vessel, like a teapot. You pour water, and once the teapot is full, it starts spilling over. So my teapot inside filled up in February, okay, and it started spilling over, and I feel loaded. I feel full of emotions, full of feelings, and things like that. And you know what? I could use a break. I really could. I'm not talking about flying to the USA or anything like that, but uh, I don't want to go to Crimea anymore, any longer. Um, the reasons I will keep to myself. I'm not gonna share here publicly. But that's not gonna be my choice of vacation land. Sochi is not my favorite place because it's so humid in the summertime. It's tiny, crowds are incredible, and it's hugely expensive. I don't know, you gotta make millions of dollars to feel comfortably there financially. The options for us to go on vacations are very limited. Turkey, very expensive, very expensive. This year it's twice as expensive as usual. Crazy, but I still can afford it. If I pinch pennies. The question is, can I take a vacation this year? Can I? Can I? Can I? Am I entitled? Okay, with that everything was going on. Is it morally right for me to take a vacation and go for a week somewhere? And that the question I don't have an answer. I've been thinking about this for quite some time. I do not have an answer. Um, Everybody needs a break, but before I go to prayer, I'm gonna tell you that you're absolutely right. And here in Russia, that's how we lived. Weather is terrible. Winters are harsh. The ones of you who live in Northern Europe, you know exactly what I mean. So we wait until the weather is good and we try to use it. We try to take breaks. Couple weeks, we fly to Turkey, Greece, uh, seaside. We swim, we relax, we unwind, so to speak. From stress from work, usually it's money, 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 work, 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 problems, 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 always problems at work, stuff like that. And then we go back and it's again bad weather, problems at work, etc. And that's a usual cycle. But this year is different. This year is, I understand your point, everyone needs a break, but don't forget that right now, where I am sitting, in the south of Russia, in Moscow, all over Russia, the situation Let there be sound. Can you hear me well now? Well, not as well as with a mic. I don't really know what happened. I don't want to investigate, but obviously a mic quit on me. Can you hear me now? There you go. Yes. So sound now. Where did you lose me, by the way? I was talking about vacation and how I was feeling a moral dilemma. Can I go on vacation or not? Did you hear that? Anyway, time's up anyway. Lorna, thank you so much for letting me know. I would like to ask you to join me in prayer. If you're a believer, please do. If you're a non-believer, please join us in helping other people, sending good wishes to other people, good energy, good vibes, doesn't matter, but please join us. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this day, putting food on our tables, putting roofs over our heads, and surrounding us with good people. I would like to ask you to touch hearts and heads of people to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. I'm asking that no more people die. I'm asking to send your helpers, your angels, to help everyone who needs help. I'm asking to answer all prayers of people in Ukraine and make their wishes granted. A lot of people need your help. Please provide your help and support, and to all the Ukrainians and the Russians who are in Ukraine as well, and the Russians who are in Russia too, because a lot of Russians need your help too. Please touch heads and hearts of people who are responsible for making decisions, so they make one big huge decision to stop this bloodshed. Please send your angels, strongest angels with sharpest swords, headed by Saint Michael, to get rid of demons that have hijacked my country, and have angels run my country again and make it shine again. Please help everyone who's helping the Ukrainians. Please help everyone who is in this live stream chat praying with us or watching us praying. Grant these people's wishes and grant their wishes, answer their prayers and grant their wishes. Make their wishes come true. A lot of people need to heal. Please reach out and touch their heads and their hearts. I would like to ask you to reach out and touch heads and hearts of people who reached out to me and asked me to place their names on the list and speak up during the prayer, because they need something from you. They need help a lot, and please help in whatever they seeking help with. These people are we have 3 kids. They are Sebastian, Maverick, and Brantley. Please help them. They need healing, and help their families, moms and families and parents. Make them stay strong, and the kids need to go back to the parents and the families. And also Shay, Rafaela and her daughter Anna, William, Elena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Ola, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Buzz and Mary, Jean-Paul, Paula, Jane, Michael Milkevitz, Mikhail's family, Dimitrius and Kieran, Muddy and Sharon, Narnian Lady, Susan S, Moby 1, Skipper 09, Sabrina Fell, Madeline, Susan, Fiona, and Paul Bins. Please answer prayers of these people and touch their hearts and touch their heads with your hand. Thank you, dear God. Amen. My friends, thank you very much for coming again, and thank you for being great community. Thank you, mods. I will see you tomorrow. It's gonna be a hard but interesting day. 3 streams for me. Friday, first stream for sponsors, second stream for patrons, and the third stream for everyone, like my usual stream. And after the usual stream, there'll be a premiere of about 12-minute long video of a walkthrough in office building. So I would like you to get done with the stream tomorrow and go and join the premiere. You are awesome and you rock. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very, very much. Now I'm trying to shut off the stream from my computer instead of going to the phone.